This we had more guys coming back. Our whole back seven, we had our linebacker crew, and then the defensive ends, a couple tackles. So for the first time, I felt like there was a lot of continuity in terms of guys coming back. So they have more understanding of the system, which is going to allow us to add more. We don't want to do too much, but I think there's more things
come back
this year for sure.
You're up.
All right, there's Joe Woods. It's funny. There's so much talk about Baker. Well, let's remember Joe Woods has a pretty good scouting report of Baker from the last 2 years.
Yep.
And you've got a defense that's probably pretty hungry too. I think this defense, just big picture, buddy, before we get into the breakdown, it feels like this defense is well aware of what's going to be asked of it at the first 11 games and is up for it. Feels like they're feeding off of it.
Yeah, and I think they are up for it. I think they believe in their ability to deliver on what will be asked of them as an elite defense here for the Cleveland Browns in 2022 and help kind of carry this team through the Jacoby Brissett era until Deshaun Watson makes his return. So here's what you need to know about the Carolina Panthers on offense. Ben McAdoo has taken over as the offensive coordinator. Now, in the past, and this is what he showed in the preseason as well, the passing game is pretty much straight dropbacks and quick game, not a lot of play action as you would see in other systems, and he typically does not chip for his tackles. That is not something that was a staple of what he's done. Now, will he change that when you're starting Ikem Ekwonu in his first ever game against Myles Garrett and Clowney? Yeah, maybe. He will change that. I think you would. All right, so throw everything out. They were dreadful last year. Bottom 3 offense in the NFL. You only had McCaffrey for 7 games. You did not have good quarterback play. Sam Darnold, they obviously hope that an unleashed Baker Mayfield will be an improvement upon Sam Darnold right there. So Baker, last year, 60.5% completions, 3,010 yards, 17 touchdowns, 13 picks, 83 rating. His best year was 2020, 63% completions, 3,563 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 picks, and a 96 quarterback rating. 29-30 as a starter, and the picks, well, 56 of them since he's come into the league, most of any quarterback since 2018. And it's kind of linked to how well he performs. In his 29 wins, 52 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 30 losses, 41 interceptions, 40 touchdowns.
Yeah.
When he's good, he is very good. When he is not, that's when you prey on him. And for the Browns, the way to prey on him is to get him under pressure. And so last year, under pressure, and really for his career, he's been at the bottom of the league under pressure, 41% completions. Now, 29% of the pressures generated against him last year resulted in sacks. The league average is around like 13%. That was the highest in the NFL. 29% of pressures becoming sacks, and that was behind our line. Now, Pro Football Focus will break out for you who's responsible for sacks. Baker was personally responsible for pressure at the second highest rate of any quarterback last year. And even in 2020, he was great. He was personally responsible 4th most. So he is directly responsible for top 5 in terms of sacks. And now behind a bad line who will be responsible enough for their own right in some of those sacks. They've got a new starter at left tackle. They've got a new starter at left guard who was a tackle in college, Brady Christensen, who's only played 1 game at guard in the NFL, and he struggled mightily as a rookie. They'll either have Pat Elflein, the former Ohio State Buckeye, or Bradley Bozeman, who had been a 4-year starter with the Baltimore Ravens at center, Corbett, and then Taylor Moton, who's probably their best offensive line. Skill-wise, what do you need to worry about? 2 names. Three. DJ Moore, the receiver, we talked about him. He's got 1,100 yards, 3 straight seasons receiving. Never been the Pro Bowl. Never more than 4 touchdowns in a season, though, which I find to be very interesting. They will move him in and out. He'll be all over the formation to try to get matchups. Robbie Anderson is the other receiver of note. 519 yards last year, only 9.8 yards per reception. Both career lows. And last year, Moore, as we've mentioned many times, had more receiving yards than the rest of the wide receivers on the roster combined. Now, Anderson went from 1,096 yards in 2020 to 519 last year. But he is a vertical threat. He's got 10 touchdowns of more than 40 yards since he entered the league in 2016. That's 2nd in the NFL since that period. Yeah. So you got to keep an eye on him. Other than that, not a lot of guys that you know. Shi Smith, we heard, he's got 6 catches for 104 yards, a 6th-round pick last year. Maybe he plays in the slot. Laviska Shenault, the former 2nd-rounder of the Jags, back-to-back seasons over 600 yards, but they traded him for a can of beans. A 6th and 24 and a 7th and 23.
Wasn't that weird in
Very
retrospect? How they just dumped him?
He's got back-to-back years of 600 yards receiving. I mean, like it's not
weird.
like he was.
Yeah, and he was a great player at Colorado.
Great.
Strange.
He's
They
somebody
elect
that I think if the Panthers want to help keep Christian McCaffrey fresh, they brought in a power complement to him and Deontay Foreman as a running back, who's the 235 big guy out of Texas. Chenault's somebody that they can line him up in the backfield and run a lot of the stuff they would have run for McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And keep McCaffrey a little bit fresher. Then the other guy is McCaffrey. That's the offense right there, right? He's missed 23 of the last 33 games, but when he is healthy in 2018, 1,965 total yards and 13 touchdowns. 2019, where he was Pro Bowl and first team All-Pro, 2,392 yards and 19 touchdowns from scrimmage, both led the NFL. We said earlier he's worth 4 points, 40 yards of offense last year, and a guy who catches it over 6 a game. For his career, 114 total yards and 1 touchdown per game, and he is the only player in NFL history to average more than 50 yards rushing and 50 yards receiving a game for their career. The only one.
Stupefying.
Yeah, that 113, by the way, everybody else who's ever averaged that for total yards per game after 5 seasons is in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. Well, if he's on that trajectory, just got to stay healthy, and he's missed much of the last 2 years.
One thing to note, tight ends have often been a Browns' Achilles heel. Nobody really of note here. Ian Thomas led the tight ends with 188 yards last year. Tommy Tremble, their third-round pick out of Notre Dame, he had 20 catches for 180 yards. So not really featured in the passing game. They do have Hollywood, we mentioned. Terrace Marshall, who's a guy that we both liked coming out of LSU, was banged up, but he's got size and speed. But really struggled last year. He averaged 8 yards a catch, which is a stunning number for a guy with that size-speed combo. Not a great offense. DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, you neutralize them. I feel like you're going to be just fine. You get pressure on Baker Mayfield. He will give you the football. We know that. That's what we've got to do. But he can still rip it.
He can rip it.
He can still rip it.
Yeah.
He can make a lot of throws.
If he gets on a hot streak, you can ride it. We've seen it, certainly. All right, coming up next, we'll do a little fantasy football for you. At the bottom of the hour, our NFL season predictions. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Bears. Watch Game Film to prepare. Finding your dream home is no different, and Cross Country Mortgage is the partner that's prepped to put you in position to win. Reach out to them today at ccm.com. Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS 3029 on that. Fantasy football starts tonight, as big football starts tonight. You have some stardom and sit-ems, I understand, Mr. Zagura, as we kick off this little fun. You're up. Yeah. No, you're not.
That's right.
Now you are. Yep.
That's right, baby. Fantasy football season is here. So who do we want to take a look at here in week number 1? And let's just start with all of our Browns fans out there. Who are we looking for from the Browns in week 1? Who can you get in your lineup? I'll give you 3, maybe 4 in a flex capacity with Kareem Hunt. But definitely start Nick Chubb. Definitely start Amari Cooper. I think we have a lot of things cooked up for Mr. Cooper, and I think he is going to have a nice season. I think he's actually going to be a better fantasy wide receiver than a lot of people
He's
think.
going well down.
Yeah, you get him as a 4th receiver.
Yeah,
and I
a lot of people have him that way.
And I think at that point, I think he becomes a very, very good quarterback for you. Wide receiver for your teams, because you're drafting him at a point where there's really no risk with where you drafted him, and then he gives you the upside to be a very productive player for you as well in this offense, where he is the clear number one most targeted wide receiver. So that's where I'm at right now. That's what I think about from the Browns standpoint. Let's go into some other guys that I like at various positions this week, and we will start at the quarterback position. And I think, look, you should have a great quarterback in fantasy football this year. There are a ton of them. I am going to start basically everybody you drafted to be your starter. And this is a position where you say, okay, yeah, but that's who should be starting for you. If you got Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Jackson, Murray, Hurts, Brady, Burrow, Rodgers, Stafford, Russ, Trey Lance, I like Dak. I like Derek Carr. I like Kirk Cousins. That's about probably where I'd cut the list off in terms of things that I'm comfortable with, but that's where you are at the quarterback position. Running back, the most important position in all of fantasy football. Who are we liking this week? Well, you know who you're definitely starting. We know those guys. But guys that I also like, James Conner against the Kansas City Chiefs out of Arizona last year. All those touchdowns. Gone is Chase Edmonds. He's the main man there. Can he stay healthy? That's the question. More Flyers, Elijah Mitchell against Chicago. I think that the Niners rout them. Ramondre Stevenson is becoming a name to keep an eye on out of New England. We'll see what his role is in the passing game there. And then I also I like Travis Etienne. I think that he's going to have a nice year. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is also significantly undervalued right now. Dameon Pierce as well getting the start for Houston. But how much will he get? I have a feeling that the Indianapolis Colts are going to put a hurting on the Houston Texans. So let's go to wide receivers. And then again, you know who your studs are. Guys kind of in the middle. Love Hollywood Brown against Kansas City with Kyler Murray now. Big Amon-Ra St. Brown guy. Gabe Davis tonight. I love that guy. I think he's going to have a very nice year. Darnell Mooney. Great value there as the number 1 target for the Chicago Bears. Again, I said I've already on the record liking Amari Cooper as well. And then if Allen Lazard, whenever he's healthy, I think he's going to end up having a very nice year in Green Bay. Somebody just keep an eye on stash. And if Michael Gallup's on the waiver wire in your leagues right now, go pick him up. Go pick him up and just stash him. Looks like he's going to be ready to go in week number 1. To no surprise for you, S wanted me to draft like Chris Olave like as early as the 3rd round. And I'm like, let's relax here. We got a good football team. Let's not get crazy.
They got a lot of weapons down there to throw to as well. So
and they're not, I don't know how much they're going to throw the ball.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Real quickly, tight ends. Speaking of weapons, I like Cole Kmet. I think Cole Kmet has a chance to have a very, very nice season for the Chicago Bears. Still looking for his first ever touchdown. He's somebody that I like. I think the Chief is not a bad option for you this week as well for the Browns. TJ Hawkinson, Dallas Goedert, those guys. But I think if you're looking for a guy to start this week, I like Cole Kmet against the 49ers. I think he's a nice little play. Zach Ertz, if he's good to go for Arizona against Kansas City as well. And then kickers, Cade York, defense, Browns.
Yeah, I like both of those picks as well. In worldly news here within the last hour, Queen Elizabeth II has died. She died at Balmoral Castle over there. It's an interesting thing. So
wild.
96 years of age. God rest the Queen as well. So they lowered the flag at Buckingham Palace, and at the time that they did it, there was a rainbow that was captured that was right over it, and then it disappeared shortly thereafter.
Wow.
So it is the stuff that is coming out of Buckingham Palace, His Majesty the King. So King Charles is the head of the monarchy at this point. It will be this way for a very, very long time now. Queen Elizabeth was the longest running monarch in the history of the British monarchy, and the other part of it now is Charles, William, and William already has a son. So you could go 3 generations. You're going to go at least 3 generations without another queen after having one for all this run. 14 U.S. presidents she met with. The only one she didn't was LBJ.
Wow.
That's it. That's the
That's
list.
Incredible.
Yeah.
She became the queen, they said, before they had perfected color TV. So that's a long time ago.
For sure. Charles has been heir apparent since 52.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
That's
Pedro
wild.
was born in 50.
I enjoyed that show, The Crown.
It's a great show.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they got
it's really
obviously
good.
they got some new material.
Yeah. I think they're going to stop it, though, with or weren't they stopping it with the Diana death? I think so.
Yeah, but
I think
maybe
they were
they'll-
shutting it
maybe they'll
down at
say,
that point. Yeah.
Bring it on back.
By the way, weird seeing Daemon Targaryen also be Prince Philip
Yeah.
in the early years.
Yeah.
That's quite the juxtaposition. The Land on Demand, remodeled by the Bath Authority, has been free for the entire month of August. If you like what you saw, read, and heard, now it's time to subscribe for the season at landondemand.com. Watch your favorite shows on new HD quality video. Following the season with Tony Grossi's columns, the Daily Grossi podcast, the 100-Year Pod. Hear from your favorite shows on demand without commercial interruptions. Go to the landondemand.com and subscribe today. NFL season predictions coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Well, there's a new way to cheer on your Cleveland Browns with the help of your favorite four-legged companion, Barking Backers, presented by Milk-Bone, is the Browns' newest club for pet parents worldwide. Sign up today at barkingbackers.com. Barking Backers, the fan club for dogs. Season predictions, Gibby. Hello, Gibby.
No pressure, but we're going to write these down and save them.
It's fine.
I'd like
We
to
normally
this year.
do quite well
normally,
with this.
Normally, we don't.
Wait, are you on?
Recorded in our Excel spreadsheet.
They're all there, yeah.
I don't know. Don't have a light.
Normally we crush the teams who make the playoffs.
Yes.
Like,
We've been
I'm
pretty
not
good
worried
at
about
that.
it. I'm not worried about it.
I feel like we
You have
missed
some
a couple of
interesting
the back end
questions.
last year, but
Well, I think we all had us to win the Super Bowl, so
Yeah.
I think that
Let's
didn't
start
age
there.
well.
No.
I'm trying to. You have some interesting questions, like overhyped but doesn't make the playoffs. That's a tricky one for me. I'm looking at this. That's a bit of a
the
tricky
team
one.
that doesn't live
No, I
up
know-
to expectations.
I know where you're at. I'm just trying to think about. So that you've I like what you've done here. I think this is interesting.
All right, season prediction time, and we'll start with a couple easy ones. Maybe. Offensive Player of the Year. Bishop, I'm going to start with you today.
Nicholas Jamal Chubb.
Wow.
Unleashed. 1927 yards, 21 touchdowns.
My God.
It's time.
They'll be
It is
building
time.
Give him
fantasy
300
statues everywhere.
350 carries.
Load them
Live.
up. It's time.
Ride
I'd like
the man.
to see that. I don't think you're going to see that.
Probably not, but sometimes you do have to say things you want to speak it into existence. I'd love to see 320 carries out of Nick Chubb.
Okay.
Run amok.
Zagura.
Though in a non, the other one I think for this, because you're obviously going away from MVP. To me, Jonathan Taylor is going to have. He could be right at 2,000 again very easily.
Justin Jefferson. I think he's gonna try to pull off a Cooper Cup and win the Triple Crown under Kevin O'Connell.
I have Jamar Chase.
Ooh, God, I hope not. Gross. He's got to play us twice, dude.
I'm going to tell you the. So not only him, but like for the fantasy kids, talking to my people down there. I know most of you already drafted, but T. Higgins is going to have a year.
I know. I'm big on T. Higgins.
Bigly.
I've got a lot of stock.
Yeah,
That's fine. For
bigly.
a
Bigly.
few weeks out of the year, they can be okay. They just can't. They won't do it against us. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
We're fine.
yeah. I mean, in order to win that, you have to get. You have to be, from a receiver standpoint, he'd have to cup it.
Yeah.
From a running back standpoint, it's got to be Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry. You got to be close to 2,000 and 20 touchdowns is what it takes.
Yep.
What are Nick's most carries in a season? Like
Low
200s?
Come on,
Low
stat boy.
200s.
Pull them up.
He is the only running back in the history of the NFL, though, to average 5 yards a carry or more in each of his first 4 seasons. The only other player to do that, Panther legend Cam Newton. Of course, he was a quarterback.
Well, what is I wanted to pull up Jonathan Taylor real quick.
298 he had in 2019, and he
Mm.
ran for 1494
Should have won the rushing title.
and 8 touchdowns. He should have. Yeah.
So you said 294?
298.
298. Okay. So Jonathan Taylor last year was 332. So it's in play.
I want to give you a stat that's going to blow your mind because last time I gave it to you, this blew your mind. In 8 games last year,
Oh my God, this
8.
is crazy.
Derrick Henry
Derrick
had
Henry
219 carries, 937 yards, and 10 touchdowns rushing. He would finish the year 9th, I think, in the NFL in rushing, and he played 8 games.
Hey, you wonder why A.J. Brown's doing cartwheels?
He would have been
He's
on
actually gonna
pace
get the
for like
ball.
450 carries.
That's right. The year before, 378 carries, 2,027 yards, 17
Jeez.
touchdowns.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right, guys, up next in our season predictions. Defensive Player of the Year, and I got a feeling we're all going to be on the same page.
Miles.
Same.
Same.
He
He's
looks
on a different level, I'm
different.
telling you.
Different. Yep. Even everything with him. He's just real comfortable on off the field, knows exactly who he is. I think he loves the challenge of it all. Of the defense is going to have to be great. Yeah, I think he could get 20 sacks. I think it's in play.
All right, Zagura, this one is for you. We'll start off with Coach of the Year. This is an interesting one. A lot of options.
You got to so coach of the year. You can't be somebody who is expected to be good. So you have to come a little bit off the pace in order to pull that off. So I wrote down somebody. Do you have somebody?
Nick Sirianni, Philadelphia Eagles.
I wrote it down. I mean, I wrote
You had
these
same?
down. Yeah, I wrote these down before I even started.
I
No,
might-
it's
might have typed in.
because you have to be somebody. The problem
Him or
is
Staley. I had Staley as my other one. Brandon Staley with the Chargers.
you like him more than I do. I think you have to be a team that isn't being talked about, and then all of a sudden you are.
Stefanski, second time in 3 years. Let's go.
That'd be beautiful. But no, I think Sirianni has kind of everything. I think they're going to win that division, and I like the look of that team when they were here. They were awfully impressive off the bus. I don't love Hurts, but in that division, you might not need to be great.
I'm going to go Josh McDaniels.
Wow.
I could see that too. I could see him having a big year. Just a tough division,
yeah.
man.
Up next,
For some reason, when you said that, I thought you were talking about the guy in Denver. Because McDaniels was in there before. I thought he was, for some reason, I had him in
Fair.
Denver. He's the Raiders. So I'm not quite as bullish on your pick, Gibbe.
that's fine. I was thinking him or Peterson with Jacksonville
Yeah.
because I think Jacksonville can only go up. Up next, we'll throw it right out there. Big matzo ball right in the middle. MVP prediction, Bo Bishop.
Patrick Mahomes. I think he balls out. I'm very bullish on the Chiefs this year. I think I don't understand all of the hype that's gone to the Bills. I think he could be lights
I
out.
100% agree with you. That was who my pick was.
Yeah, I just feel like it's weird. I think he's going to be better without Hill. I think they have a ton of weapons. I love Sky Moore in that fit. I don't think he's going to be worried about trying to get it to Tyreek deep. I think he'll take easy stuff. I think he'll be
still
a
have
high completion percentage.
Andy Reid
Yeah.
running the ship.
Yeah, 5,200 yards,
Yeah.
48 touchdowns. Feels like it's in play.
Zagura.
Justin Herbert.
You are just going to die on that hill with the Chargers, aren't you?
I think he's really good. I mean,
He is.
I've had a front row seat to see a lot of quarterbacks play this game, and what Justin Herbert did in LA last year with his size, with his athleticism, his cannon, the game he had against the Raiders at the end when he made every throw you had to make over and over and over again. I'm a big Justin Herbert guy. I think he is a mega star in the making. Also, Tom Mosley's best scouting, the former Secretary of the Navy, best scouting ever, said trade the farm for Herbert. Prior to that draft, he did say that.
He did love him. Yeah,
Loved
I
him.
remember that.
All right, guys. Up next.
Who's yours?
I had Mahomes.
Yeah.
Oh, both of you.
Yeah.
You guys are Mahomies.
I just think that there's something. That offense, like, they see this as a challenge. And Andy Reid might do his finest coaching work yet doing this.
I like it.
Division winners time.
Okay.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to do the other two first? Surprise team, and then the one
Sure.
Let's do my surprise team, though, is not a team that I actually am predicting to go to the playoffs, but like they would be a surprise. Like that's who I think could be like the sleeper team. Is that fair, or does that have to be somebody I put into the playoffs?
No, I don't
No.
think so. I don't think it
Yeah.
has to be defined that way.
Okay. So
Uh,
my surprise will not be on there.
This is a team that's better than you think.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
So my surprise,
Mhm.
the Detroit Lions. I'm in, baby. Hard Knocks. Let's go. I think they have a chance.
Here's one thing that is really troubling about them. Their win total 6.5.
Yeah.
Which I'm with you. It feels like they're going to be over. I think they could finish second in that division. I think it's in play. 88% of the money is on the over. Highest in the league.
Oh, baby.
Not great.
No.
Not
Okay.
great.
All right. Sad.
Not great.
But maybe it happens.
Maybe it does. It could. Who knows? I think I got two for you, both in the AFC. I think it's funny listening to national people talk about us as if we're going to be 1-7 in the first 8.
Sessler ranked Brissett number 32 this week on his
I know.
QB ranking.
I'm seeing
on.
that.
He's
What?
out. Come on.
I mean, you
there's
see
a lot of just hate.
I get it, but I mean, even the Cuz had us winning one of our first 8, and I thought, geez, Cuz, that's hard for me to believe.
Nobody's
one to our first
giving. I
8.
like it. We're totally.
I think we're going to be in the
disrespectful.
mix to be around 500, maybe a little better by the time Deshaun comes back.
then
So
we're in the mix.
I think we have a chance to surprise. The other team that I think has a chance to surprise and be really frisky is Jacksonville.
I like that. I like that.
I think
thought.
they could. I think they're going to finish second in the AFC South. Missed the playoffs, but second in the South.
The more I read about them, the more I think they're going to be a factor. the Minnesota Vikings. We go back to the Norris.
I've got them in the playoffs. Spoiler alert.
I've got the Vikings as my surprise.
Okay. All right. Bust.
Yeah, one team overhyped doesn't make the playoffs.
Tennessee. I think it's over.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have them in either this year. Feels like they've gone over. Overhyped bust. It does feel like it's possible it's over in Dallas.
Dallas. would be
That's
the
who
other
I
one.
had.
Yeah, that's my other one.
I don't know that anybody thinks the Cowboys are going to, win everything or not. We'll see. And I'll give you one more. Just weird vibes. And I don't necessarily. I trust the people that are running it very well, but I do wonder about San Francisco with Lance. I'm just curious how that's going to be. They're so good everywhere else, but I just think there's more to keeping Garoppolo than just on the surface. Even Lance saying that it initially wasn't crazy about Garoppolo being back. Like, they're just, I don't know. It's just weird. I think the way that they handled all that was very, very strange. I think they'll overcome it because they're expertly coached and their roster's really, really good. And I think I have them in the playoffs. But I don't know. I'm just kind of curious about that team.
Okay.
By the way, I'd also like to throw in Arizona as a team that could.
They're terrible without Hopkins, and they're without Hopkins for a while.
Yeah,
They do have
exactly.
Hollywood Brown now, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Still, they have all that talent.
Who I also
Are
like in
quarterback
fantasy,
and coach
by the way.
going to get along, or is coach going to get fired because quarterback throws another temper tantrum? All right. Coach's seat that's the hottest entering 2022.
I think it's all right. So
Mike McCarthy.
that was my initial answer, but is it really? Like, is Jerry going to admit he's wrong? To me, he's the first fired. Right?
He's got a hot seat.
I'll tell you another one. Like playing back into your Cardinals, like Kingsbury. I know they just gave him money, but I don't know that Kyler's as crazy about him as everybody seems. It seems like they're a little contentious. I'll tell you, if it goes off the rails, and there's no such thing as a hot seat for this human, but like Belichick, like this has gone really bad.
All indications
I mean?
are it's not going great.
No, I
By
mean,
the way,
it's
I'm going to throw them into my bust column since we're just adding a bunch of teams to our bust column.
Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they suck when you look at the paper.
Yeah.
It does. But he's Belichick.
All
But
right,
at
so
the same
who's your
time,
so who's your hot seat?
I'm
Maybe
going
I'll
to go.
put Kyle back on again.
Kyle's on the hot seat. You're always worried about the hot seat.
Unbelievable. I think NFC
Hey, that got some
championship
traction.
game. NFC championship game.
Yeah, I think the true hot seat is the guy we're playing Sunday, Matt Rule. That's the true hot seat. McCarthy's very interesting. I just don't know if Jerry will admit he's wrong 2 years in on such a big one. So I'll go Matt Rule.
All right, Gibby.
I'm going to say Cliff just because I hate Cliff. I don't hate. I just don't like him.
He's a nice enough guy, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
I just don't think he's qualified. Segura, what did you have?
I had Mike McCarthy. I've got this all in the spreadsheet, Gibby. Don't worry.
All right, good. All right, up next, division winners. We'll start in the AFC East. Segura?
Buffalo.
Same.
All right, good. Buffalo, all three.
Okay.
The AFC South.
Indianapolis Colts.
Same.
Who are my other options?
Tennessee,
Jacksonville, and Houston.
That's pretty awful.
It is.
Yeah, Indy, all three.
Okay.
There you go. AFC West.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Same.
There's no way we're getting all these right.
I can't. This will go against everything
No way.
that I've been
I wouldn't
saying
think
this
we'd get
offseason.
all these right. No. But I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Who knows?
Yeah, we'll go same. I can't believe you didn't die on the San Diego.
Oh,
or
don't worry.
The
You'll-
Los
you'll-
Angeles.
You'll get your.
You'll
fill
get
of them.
there. They're coming.
NFC East.
Are we doing our division or no?
Philly.
No, we do ours last.
Philly.
Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
The North.
Green Bay.
Green Bay, but I don't feel great about it.
I do. Yeah, Green Bay.
I don't.
Green
Okay.
Bay.
South. NFC South.
Tampa.
Bucks.
Tampa Bay.
There's
I
always
do-
one worst to first. Every year there's a worst to first divisional winner. Who's the worst to first?
We don't have that here.
No.
anywhere.
The most logical worst to first is in our division, Baltimore.
Baltimore.
That's the easiest roadmap. But there's always one who is, and it's hard to find it this year. Baltimore's the only one that you could talk yourself into.
What about the Chargers?
I don't think they were worse.
Denver was. Denver.
Denver was.
Yeah.
That's right. They just missed
Denver
the
would be a
playoffs.
decent worst to first.
Yeah.
If you believe in that.
NFC West, kids.
Niners.
Of course. Homer.
Ram it. Just ram it.
Ram it. Agreed. Ram it.
So we have one disagreement out of all of these division winners. It's hilarious.
I
There's just no way it's going to happen, but this is
No.
what we like. All right. Bengals.
Bengals. Yep.
the AFC North.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see.
You want to do other playoff teams?
Yeah.
While
and
we're at
wild
it.
cards. NFC wild card, AFC wild card.
I don't know.
NFC wild cards. I got the Rams, the Saints, and the Vikings.
I have the 49ers, the Saints, and the Vikings.
Oh wow.
So we have the exact same. We both have
Playoffs.
Dallas missing it. We have the exact same NFC playoffs.
Yeah.
Gibbe.
I don't even know. I haven't even thought about that.
Okay.
All right. In the AFC, I have the three wild cards being the Chargers, the Broncos, and let's go Brownies. Let's go, baby.
Same.
Let's go.
Let's go. Well, last I did too. That's what I exactly.
So no
played.
Vegas.
No Vegas.
No Vegas.
No Vegas.
No Ravens. No Steelers for the first time in forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Steelers even made the playoffs last year, right? That
They
wasn't
did.
like a
It's
fever
funny
dream.
because they made the playoffs and they are. I know people go at Trubisky. They are better at quarterback than they were last year.
yes, he was.
So-
And they still have a really good defense.
But they have a weird. No, they have a bad secondary.
bad
They've got a
secondary.
great. They've got two great players up front.
Yep.
Their linebackers are okay. Their secondary is very average.
Questionable.
Their receivers are pretty good. Their offensive line sucks. They've got a great running
Great
back,
back.
and that's.
Who's
it's a
dealing
weird
with
roster.
the possible Liz Frank?
Oh, does he
foot-
have one of those?
That's what. Yeah, it came out last week.
Najee?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And
Yeah.
he's been dealing with some
It's a
type
weird-
of. It's some type of Liz.
When you
Frank.
look at their too deep, you go, "What a strange construction this is." Truly. All right.
AFC NFC Championship game predictions. Go.
I've got Chiefs over Bengals. I've got Packers over Bucks.
Oh, in the games.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll do Chargers over Chiefs, and I'm gonna do. You have the Packers going to the Super Bowl.
I do.
I'm gonna go Niners over Philly.
Boy, that would be both of those would be beautiful uniform Super Bowls.
Great, and then my.
Who do you got, Gibbe? AFC, NFC championship games?
Oof.
Who did you say you had again?
I have Chiefs over Bengals, and I have Packers over Bucks.
I really. I think it's Buffalo over KC
All right.
in the AFC in a rematch.
I just want the AFC to be open.
Yep. In the NFC,
Like everybody, it should be like I want. Yeah, I don't have Buffalo there. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna go LA Chargers over Buffalo, and then can Josh Allen win the big one? That's the question.
the NFC. We talk about the AFC being up
Tampa's
for
boring.
grabs.
There's
The
so
NFC
boring.
is
Brady's
just nothing.
household issues. Like they may rear their ugly head. I mean, he's Tom Brady, and it is not a good scene there. Rodgers doesn't have his weapons. That's why I picked Philly. Philly at least is interesting. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, Super Bowl champs,
What do you got?
Chargers.
Chiefs.
Give it.
Chiefs and Chargers.
Gibby, how did this sneak up on you?
I've been busy.
Like I didn't even prep for it though, but it's immediate. Like who's doing it? This.
Right.
This is who.
Yep.
I don't like anybody in the NFC. Can the AFC winner just be
So just-
crowned the champion?
Yeah.
and
So
we
pick
not
who
play
you
the
want to
Super Bowl?
win.
Pick
Pick
the
the
AFC
AFC team.
champion and
I
vote
did.
against
Buffalo.
Kansas City.
Oh, Kansas. You
No,
have
I picked Buffalo.
You have Buffalo
Yeah.
beating Kansas City.
I have Bills
So
Mafia.
you have the Bills winning the Super Bowl against two.
He didn't have. An
I guess
NFC championship
Tampa
game.
Bay by method of elimination.
I'll tell you, you go through this exercise, and you do. I mean, you think of the NFC playoffs. These are your quarterbacks in the NFC playoffs. We had the same 8 teams: Jalen Hurts, okay, Rodgers, Cousins, Brady at 45 with personal life tumult. Jameis, Stafford, and Lance or Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Compared to Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, Herbert, Deshaun, and Matt Ryan, and Russell
Russ.
Wilson. Jeez.
So I put Philly in my case.
dude,
in
it's
my
a
final
murderer's
four. That's
row.
what I mean. Like,
Crazy.
how am I
Crazy.
picking out of this slop?
I don't know. It's brutal. It's going to be crazy. The AFC is going to be nuts this year. So much more to come. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Stock quantities last, $100 off fire tables and umbrellas, and up to 40% off patio furniture. On Lorraine Road, 2 miles west of I-4.
Tonight at 7, the Kevin Stefanski Show on the University Hospitals Cleveland Browns Radio Network. Coach and Greg Newsome going to join Z and Gerard on the program tonight. And after that, we've got football. Bills at Ramit.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's week 1 of the scores.
Last year, just real quickly, combined 70 games over 500. You're welcome.
Yay.
Get rich, kids.
100
Send your
straight winning
kids to
season.
school.
100 straight winning season.
Send your kids to school on us. You're welcome.
The
Yep.
title defense begins for the Los Angeles Rams, playing host to Buffalo and the Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia coming to Los Angeles. Big game, 40 people on the pregame for NBC tonight.
By the way, sad. No Hoff, Irv,
No
Steve
Hoff,
Smith,
no Irv.
Colleen Wolfe. That show was pure joy. The inside the NBA of the NFL.
It really
It's gone
was.
now, and it
Yeah.
stinks, and I hate it.
It was. Super Bowl champions are really good in openers.
They are.
1 minute.
Under McVay, too.
Well, he's undefeated in openers, and
Oh.
Super Bowl champions like 14-3 the last 17 years in this Thursday night window. Just ram it.
Ram it, same.
Or is it?
It is. It counts. It's on record.
Hard to say.
Could
Hard
be
to say.
0-1
Hard to
tomorrow,
say.
kids.
The Lex-
Hard to say.
love
I
how-
mean, who in their right mind is betting on the Bills on the road against the defending Super Bowl champion?
And
who
his
are getting
favorites.
Points?
Vegas is right now.
Who would do that?
Crazy. The next level is next. We're back tomorrow. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.